my darlings. How are you? I hope that you are doing amazing. It's DarlingDTarot bringing you another pick a card reading. So for today, we are getting right into this and we are asking the question, what chapter in your life is currently closing and making way for a brand new, beautiful chapter? We'll also be talking about what this new chapter in your life holds, what it's bringing you, what kind of gifts and blessings are coming your way while you go down this new cycle in your life. We'll also be talking about what you're leaving behind, what no longer serves you, and why that no longer serves you, as well as a little bit of a time period on how long this next cycle in your life might last for. So going forward, you can choose all three, you can choose just two or just one. It entirely depends on just where you're feeling drawn, what you feel pulled towards, but definitely take what resonates. This is a general reading, so not every message is going to be for you, but that is a-okay, as there are going to be plenty more messages in this reading. Of course, if your original pile does not resonate with you, always feel free to go and choose another one. So without any further ado, let's get into these piles. I want to show you guys these iron-ons real quick to help you choose. So for stack one, we have this beautiful The Moon iron-on. I just love the imagery in these, and I was going to use them for a craft, and then I was like, actually, I have to use them in a pick a card first. So this is stack twos. It says the future is yours. I love how holographic it is. And then this is stack threes. It is the death card. And honestly, if whoever made these iron-ons ever came out with a deck, I would definitely buy it. It is so gorgeous. I love all the mushrooms and the outside imagery. But I will go ahead and let you guys choose now. Of course, with each pile, stack one has the key, stack two has this beautiful pearl charm, and then stack three has this beautiful diamond spiral. So I'll give you guys a few seconds to choose, and then I will see you at your pile. Bye for now. Hello to everyone who chose stack one. Let's get right into your reading and see what chapter in your life is currently closing and what brand new one awaits. So right off the bat, I love the fact that you chose the Moon iron-on and the key charm. I definitely feel like you guys are opening up in regards to your spirituality. You are really incorporating more mindful moments into your life, maybe even some more meditation as well. For some of you guys, it's going to be your own form of meditation. Maybe you're meditating while you're on the treadmill or while you're doing dishes, maybe while you're picking up the house, or maybe even just simple things like if you work in an office space while you walk from your desk to the bathroom, just having small moments in between the day where you're asking yourself, how am I doing? Taking mental inventory, taking physical and spiritual inventory as well, and then taking that information and knowing how to proceed, right? For some of you guys, you're really understanding how you're feeling in regards to your body. You're really staying in touch with your body. You're saying, do I need more sleep? Do I need to eat a little bit more? You know, how can I make this body of mine a little bit healthier going forward? You know, I feel like you guys are also really connecting with your spirit team. I see you guys talking with your spirit guides a lot, maybe receiving a lot of signs, a lot of synchronicities as well. For some of you guys, you're seeing 111 or 1111. For some of you, maybe even 222. There's just this energy of seeing constant synchronicities, and your spirit guides are saying that you are on the right track. So if you've been hoping for some sort of sign recently, or saying to your spirit guides, I really need a sign that everything's going to be okay, this is it, right? I also feel like your spirit guides are saying there's going to be a lot of beauty and a lot of joy coming forward in this next chapter of your life, but it's entirely up to you on how to embrace it. Spirit is asking you to drop your defenses, drop your worries and your fears or whatever is holding you back, so then that way you can really take off and take flight into something beautiful. I also keep thinking of like a butterfly going through transformation, coming out of the cocoon and emerging as this butterfly who is taking flight for the first time, right? I feel like for those that pick stack 1, maybe you've been in almost hiding for the last year. Maybe you haven't been going out into public a whole lot. Maybe you haven't been, going out to hang out with friends or doing things other than just school or work. I feel like there's just this energy of every day it's the same thing. You wake up, you go do what you need to do, you come home, you eat, and you take a shower and you go to bed, right? And while that's okay, Spirit is also asking you to get out of your comfort zone a little over the next year. I feel like this last year or last few months was all about learning how to work with your emotions a little bit more, learning how to get in touch with them, learning how to honor them and create boundaries for yourself. Maybe that was also why you had a little bit of solitude over the last year. You were really learning how to work on boundaries, learning how to become more confident in yourself. But now Spirit is saying, take those gifts, take all of that you have learned, and then proceed forward with them, right? I also feel like you're going to maybe be incorporating some new form of divination into your life, whether that is shufflemancy with Spotify, where you put it on shuffle a few times until you feel in your spirit that it is the right song and receive a message from it. For others of you, maybe you'll be learning how to do tea leaf readings or rune readings, or maybe even getting into cartomancy with oracle cards or tarot cards. There's just this energy of really tapping into your spiritual side and seeing what comes from that. Spirit is also asking you to be working with the law of attraction. I feel like journaling is going to be really important in this next chapter of your life. Working with affirmations such as I am. I keep hearing I am confident. I am achieving my goals. I really do feel like affirmations are going to help a lot going forward, stack 1. Another thing too that I'm also seeing is that with this pile, you guys are going to have a lot of potential, a lot of possibilities, a lot of doors unlocking for you. With this key, it very much reminds me of like a skeleton key in an old-timey home, where it would unlock the key or unlock the lock to every door in the house, to everything basically in the household. And I feel that's very much your vibe over the next year. I feel like everything that you touch is going to turn to gold, but it's up to you to touch it, right? It's up to you to take that first step, to push yourself outside of your comfort zone and really go towards it, because I feel like as well with your emotions, it's a very beautiful thing that you're honoring them, but I feel like Spirit is also saying, this is going to be another good way to honor yourself, is to step outside, even if you're a little uncomfortable, even if you're a little bit scared, go out there. I feel like you're going to get a lot of blessings that way, a lot of opportunities. You might even be running into random people. Maybe you meet a few different people, like you're on the subway and you bump into someone and they're like, oh, hey, you want to go out for a coffee? And that's something that wouldn't have happened if you hadn't have been open to the idea of potentially meeting someone, right? Or potentially experiencing maybe a new friendship. Or I just feel like there's going to be brand new opportunities coming into your life, stack one right after the other. There's also this energy of not feeling the need to be a perfectionist, right? Not feeling the need to do things over and over and over again until they're perfect. I feel like you guys need to feel more comfortable in making mistakes as well. No one in this life is perfect, right? And you need to give yourself the leeway to be able to make a few mistakes and to learn from them, right? Otherwise, how else are you going to grow and to learn? So your first card is going to be representative of your last chapter in your life that is now closing out. So we have number 22, she feels and she knows. Yes, exactly. So I definitely feel like you guys have been working on your emotions, have been working on learning how to honor them, how to take care of yourself. Again, maybe some of you are getting better from being sick. There's almost this energy of maybe some of you guys had a really bad sinus infection, or just have not been feeling yourself over the last few months. But now Spirit is saying now is the time to emerge. Allow other people to see you, to appreciate you, to admire you, right? You are someone who is lovely. Isn't she lovely? It's kind of what I keep feeling here. And you guys are, you are beautiful on the inside and out. Spirit is also saying that you're someone who has very striking features. I feel like your features, much like this card, are very rounded, very soft, very gentle. But I also feel like that's something that sets you apart from other people. You have a very unique facial structure. And I feel like that makes you so gorgeous, regardless of gender. I feel like you're just someone who's very beautiful, just very gorgeous. You also just emit this beautiful light, and maybe in the past you've learned to dull your light, or you've learned how to kind of hide that shine from other people because maybe you've been taken advantage of, or maybe the wrong people have been kind of attracted to you. Sometimes the brightest people can attract energy vampires, or and that's usually why they're drawn to you like moths to a flame. But I feel like Spirit is saying learn how to pick up intuitively on who's going to not be serving in your life or not be a good person in your life, because I feel like a lot of times where you've had maybe bad or negative encounters or situations with people, you picked up pretty immediately, I don't know if I should be in this situation. I don't know if I should be involved with this person. And maybe you kind of threw that to the wayside, right? But going forward, Spirit really wants you to trust your spirituality, trust your intuition, trust that gut feeling, and also trust that you have the keys and tools to accomplish anything. I feel like there's also this energy of letting other people view your beauty with the peacock feather here, but also speaking up, being a little bit loud. Let's get loud. I feel like Spirit is asking you to say no, to put up those boundaries, to, be able to express yourself, because you feel and but that doesn't necessarily mean that everyone else sees or knows as well, right? So I definitely feel like there's this energy of maybe even you coming to light and coming up to people and saying, you know what, Denise, I didn't really like that. That wasn't very cash money of you last week. You scuffed my sneaker and I saw that, right? There's almost this energy of you not necessarily confronting just to confront, but, not any longer being other people's doormat, or not any longer putting up with the ill treatment of others. I feel like that's also been a cycle for you, stack one. Maybe there's this energy of being a little bit of a people pleaser, and that goes back into perfectionism. Maybe growing up, there was this energy that you weren't necessarily helped a lot growing up, and maybe you learned to internalize that as I have to get things done or else nothing's going to get done, nothing's going to change if I don't do it. And I feel like now is the time, Spirit is saying allow yourself to rely on other people as well. Break out of that it only has to be me. Allow other people to help, allow other people to get involved as well, because I feel like too, there's this big energy of working with community or working on as a team with other people, maybe even learning to forgive other people who have been a little bit rude to you in the past, right? Not shutting them out or kind of hiding away. You could have boundaries with these individuals, but I feel like things are just going to get a little bit better with your relationships and with connections with those around you. Another thing before we get on to these next few cards, with the number 22 being the number 4 here, the number 4 definitely talks about stability. It talks about how 4 posts are used to build the foundation of a house, right? For something that you can kind of continue to grow upon. I feel like you've been taking tiny stepping stones towards your goals and ambitions, but Spirit is saying now is the time that you're really going to be making those leaps and bounds. You're going to really be creating a lot more stability, a lot more security for yourself as well. Some of you guys are going to start saving money over this next new period in your life. And that's going to be exciting because maybe in the past you never felt that there was enough money to actually save or to, ever do anything fun as well. Maybe you'll finally have a little bit of fun money as well, right? Now, going forward onto your next 4 cards, these are going to be talking about energies in this new cycle that is approaching. So right off the bat, wow, you have 3 guardians, and that is absolutely insane, right? Now, also with the number 3, we think of the mind, the body, and the spirit all kind of coming together as one, so you can make good decisions for yourself and for the situation. Remember how we were talking about that earlier, about how you're coming into harmony, you're taking spiritual, physical, and mental inventory, right? That's very much this vibe with these 3 guardians here. Now, another thing too, we have mirror guardian, take time to reflect. I really do feel like that's also feeling comfortable with the person that you are in the mirror. I keep hearing the song, The Man in the Mirror. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. And I feel like that's very much you guys' energy, is that you're starting there. You know, you're taking care of yourself a little bit more. You're honoring yourself. You're making time for yourself, showing up for yourself as well. Maybe in the past, you never showed up for yourself. You never stuck up for yourself. You never honored yourself. But now you're taking the time to really like love on your body. You know, maybe you are having a new skincare routine or having a new self-care routine in general. Maybe some of you guys are going to find a lot of calming energy inside the tub or inside the shower. For a lot of you guys as well, maybe that's going to be your meditative moment, is when you take a shower, you're going to envision, you know, any negative energies or any self-deprecating thoughts that you might have had at the top of your head. And then as you wash your body and as you wash your hair, just envision those falling down your body and going down the drain, right? All that negative energy washing away from you. I feel like that's going to be a really wonderful way to incorporate meditation and also incorporate cleansing, right? Because we have 2 cards here, for me at least, that represent cleansing. You know, with the Magic Guardian, unlock the magic within. Again, work with your spirituality over this next chapter in your life. I feel like you're going to receive a lot of messages from your ancestors and spirit guides. I feel like they've been dying to talk to you, right? I feel like they have a lot of messages. Maybe in the past, for a select few of you guys, you've received a lot of messages and then you got kind of scared and you were like, actually, I don't know if I want to be talking to you guys. And you just kind of cut off the line. I feel like now they're like, okay, now is the time to get back into it. Like, are you going to answer the phone? We're calling, right? The universe is calling. Will you pick up? And I feel like you're saying yes. Now is the time. I'm ready for this now. You know, I'm someone who has been working on myself. I'm ready to now work with my spirit team and see what else I can heal or what else I can work on. Now, also with Magic Guardian, notice how she is so open. Notice how not only is she healing with this hand and cleansing herself with whatever is burning in this bowl, but she's also very open with her palm as well. You know, she is not only giving to the universe, but she's also receiving at the same time. It's very much based on reciprocity here as well, but she's also not hiding away. She's very much like, here I am, I'm ready for my blessings, I'm ready for these opportunities that are coming in. And that's what spirit really wants you to focus on. For a lot of you guys, maybe you're also getting highlights in your hair as well. Maybe some of you guys are just switching to an entirely new hairstyle or an entirely new hair color in general. I feel like that's going to be a big part of your journey going forward, is just changing your look, changing your wardrobe as well. But with Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. Again, I feel like spirit is saying, just because this chapter of your life is closing, take all that emotional maturity with you. Continue to feel your emotions, continue to honor yourself, and continue to show yourself that same nurturing energy and sensitivity as you would show a baby, you know, or maybe even an animal. For some of you guys, there's also this energy of maybe you're adopting a new animal into your life. You know, maybe you're adopting a cat or a dog or maybe a bird. There's just this energy of maybe incorporating pets into your life, right? But with Mirror Guardian, take time to reflect. Again, continue to have these mindful and meditative moments throughout the day. I feel like that's going to be so important. Some of you guys might also use mirrors as a way of like scrying or as a way of receiving messages from the other side, you know, especially when it comes to, you know, maybe your higher self. For some of you guys, I see you doing higher self guided mirror meditations. I feel like that's also going to be a really wonderful way to incorporate your spirituality, right? Another thing that I do want to say is that for some of you guys that have been single for a long time, I feel like you're on the road to finding the person that you're going to settle down with, right? It's very much giving the energy of kind of engagement or becoming engaged, right? But trust the journey. I feel like you are on the right path there. Now with Drum, Dream, and Journey, you know, again, focus on your dreams. Start journaling, writing things down about what it is that you want to accomplish. I feel like that's very important. Another thing too is really getting into the flow of music, really expressing yourself that way. I feel like once you start getting your kind of juices flowing, I feel like that's really going to open the floodgates to spirit. I feel like that's really going to increase your spiritual side or your spiritual energy. So, dance like no one's watching. Have a good time. Let your hair down, have fun. I feel like spirit is asking you to incorporate a little bit more silliness into your everyday routine as well, whether that's even just making silly jokes for yourself, and then just laughing at them yourself. I feel like spirit is asking you to incorporate that and have a little bit more fun, right? Now, going forward onto your next two cards, these are more messages on the energy of the new chapter in your life. So going forward, we have She Who Yearns, Desiree, and She Who Forgives, Elixir. Beautiful. Okay, remember how we were talking about earlier too that you might be forgiving someone, maybe even forgiving yourself as well, but I definitely feel like that's going to be an energy here. Maybe you're forgiving yourself for the times you didn't listen to your intuition, where you kind of turned away from your spirituality, but now you're ready to fully embrace it. For others of you, maybe you're forgiving your family members. Maybe you are forgiving the way that you were raised, or maybe you are forgiving, previous exes. It's very much this energy though of forgiving is not forgetting, right? So I feel like you're going to keep that the knowledge that you gained from these situations or the emotions that you experienced with certain people, but I feel like you're not going to be holding on to the negative emotions with it anymore. It very much reminds me of the old saying of, when you hold on to anger towards someone, it's basically like you're taking a poison meant for them, but you're ingesting it yourself. And I very much feel like this is the energy here. Like, you're breaking free from that. And maybe you're also feeling remorse for all the times that, maybe you felt those energies, and maybe you're feeling like, wow, I wasted a lot of time when I could be living, or I could be, feeling something other than this, right? But I feel like spirit is saying everything happens the way that it's supposed to as well. So don't be hard on yourself, just go forward with this very forgiving, compassionate, loving, and nurturing energy. Very much Queen of Cups energy, right? Be in that Queen of Cups vibe of unconditional loving and nurturing, right? Now, another thing too, we have She Who Yearns, Desiree, yearn, longing, and pine for. For some of you guys, again, maybe you're having dreams of where you want to be, and you're waking up and you're saying, oh my gosh, that felt so real. I really thought that I was there with this person, or I was doing this, or I was doing that. And spirit is saying that it's kind of like you're getting a taste of your dream coming to fruition, right? So use that as inspiration to continue lighting that fire underneath you so you can continue to progress, right? Now, going forward onto your next three cards, onto your next four cards, sorry. This is going to be talking about the energies going forward of the cycle that you're leaving and why you're leaving it, right? So we have, the 10 of Swords, the Sun card in the reverse, the Star card in the upright, and the 7 of Swords in the upright. Okay, wow. So right off the bat, definitely there was an ending to a cycle here. Spirit is even acknowledging that. They're saying it's for the better though, right? Because I really do feel like Stack One, you have seen a lot of hardships. It hasn't always been the sunniest or the happiest or the sparkliest kind of road for you, so to speak, or the nicest or shiniest path, right? I feel like you've always kind of experienced these endings of cycles that are very hard, or they feel a little bit like defeat, right? But I feel like you're also very resilient, much like that bird energy that we talked about earlier with all of these kind of bird representations here, that you are someone who will just say, I'm okay. You'll put on a brave face and you'll just continue forward, even if that's kind of a detriment to yourself. And I feel like spirit is now saying, no, no more to this overworking and, constantly pushing yourself until you feel like basically dead. You feel exhausted, especially with the 10 of Swords here and the 7 of Swords. Now, for others, there's definitely this energy as well of self-sabotaging energies. Remember how I was saying earlier that, this skull is almost too trapped in its headspace and can't see the sun and can't see the happiness around it. I feel like there's also this energy here. Maybe you were stuck in self-sabotaging energies, or, just not feeling all that great, right? But I feel like Spirit is saying, regardless of all that, you've always held out hope. You always hoped that there was something better, and I feel like even when it wasn't, even when you knew, okay, it's probably not going to get better in the situation with this person or in this job, you still held out hope and you still persevered and you still pushed forward, right? But Spirit is really removing you from this past energy. It's almost like the universe is saying, you've spent enough time here. Let's move forward onto happiness. Let's move forward onto something more fulfilling, right? And another thing that I do want to say is with Desiree, she who yearned, maybe you've been yearning and you've been hoping for something better, right? Something that isn't this, something that isn't just, living paycheck by paycheck, or, kind of just living to survive, right? I don't think that there's this energy of actually living. It's just surviving. It's a constant survival. Maybe feeling as if you're always in fight or flight mode as well for some of you guys. But I really do feel like Spirit is saying that that's why you have to leave this, because it's such a negative energy. You have to remove yourself from this. Others of you, there might be a Leo or an Aquarius that maybe in the past kind of led you on. Maybe this is someone who lied to you, who promised that they would be with you. I keep hearing as well, this could be a friend. But I feel like maybe this is someone who you kept making excuses for, you kept sticking up for, you kept putting your own emotions aside, even though they made you feel terrible. Maybe this person gaslit you. Maybe you are dealing with a karmic twin, or a karmic relationship in general. Maybe this person kept coming back and kept being like, oh yeah, no, I'm not doing anything, even though you see that they have your whole sword collection in their hands. You're like, what are you doing with my sword collection? And they're just actively moving their robe to hide it, and they're like, what sword collection? I don't know anything about, I've never seen a sword in my life. And I feel like it's blatant things like that, stack one. So this doesn't just have to be a relationship or a friendship. This could be a family situation. This could also be, maybe you are at a job situation where this is constantly happening, where you're getting more and more workload while everyone else is just kind of living their best life, not doing anything, right? But I feel like it all boils down to you being overworked, you being the person that is constantly having to shoulder this burden, or constantly have to be the one to go up and down on these big mountains, right? We have 3 cards here that are all depicting mountains, 4 cards, so I feel like there's this energy of understanding there's still more that you have to do. You haven't even climbed your biggest hill yet, but you feel like it's a constant up and down. It's a constant battle or a constant struggle to be able to maintain above water, so to speak, right? But Spirit is saying just being alive to survive is not enough. You are going to experience happiness going forward. And again, it's going to be really, really quick, right? Because I feel like Spirit is removing this cycle very quickly. It could even be so abrupt that maybe one day you just wake up and you feel lighter, right? I feel like that's very much the energy that we have here. Now, going forward onto your next few cards, these are talking all about your next chapter in life. What is coming your way? Beautiful. Okay, so we have the 6 of Swords, the Tower card, the Knight of Pentacles. Let me actually move my light a little bit. I don't want this to glare so much on you guys. There we go. That might be a little bit better. Sorry, I should have moved it a little earlier, you guys, but better late than never, right? And I feel like that's also the energy here. It's better to leave a bad situation now, or whenever you get to it, than to never leave it, right? And maybe that's also a message for you guys. But going forward, we have the 6 of Swords in the reverse and the Tower card in the reverse. Again, I feel like the hardest part is already over, right? I feel like the immaturity of the situation, of the other people involved, of just the situation in general, I feel like it's over. I feel like you don't have to worry about this anymore, though. Again, it's kind of like the calm after the storm is finally going to set in, but it's not going to last for too long, because with the Knight of Pentacles here, it very much reminds me of, again, this is going to happen very, very fast. Pentacles in the upright talk about being very meticulous, taking your time, not worrying that it's going to take a little bit longer. But right after we have this reversed Knight of Pentacles, we have the 8 of Wands and the Page of Swords. I mean, you are zooming. It's like, meow, you're Lightning McQueen out here, right? And I feel like you're someone who is just going to say, okay, I have gone through so much over the last year, maybe even just my whole lifetime. I am ready for happiness. Again, incorporating some goofiness. When I see the Roadrunner, I think of someone who is maybe a comedian, you know, someone who is very lighthearted, someone who's very funny, someone who's a little bit of a class clown. So really calling in that energy, I feel like that is what's going to lead you to this Empress. You know, I feel like this doesn't just have to be a person. This is literally just talking about you have defeated all of your dragons and you are just sitting pretty now, right? Feeling comfortable, feeling secure, feeling stable in yourself, but also being able to make boundaries for yourself, being able to say no, being able to call the shots. The Empress is a powerful, powerful card here, right? And this is a very powerful person to be. So I feel like you guys are stepping into your strength, stepping into your power and saying, again, here I am, you know, having that self-care routine as well. Notice how beautiful her coat looks, and she's just out there just vibing. I feel like that's going to be your energy, you know, especially after all of these trials and tribulations, overworking, maybe working long hours, or, you know, maybe slaving away at school, you know, just like constantly at it. You know, maybe for some of you guys that are already enrolled in school, maybe there was this energy of your friends trying to piggyback off of you, or, you know, trying to take your notes. So you would be the one doing notes, or you would be the one doing the majority of things and projects. That could even be in regards to career. But Spirit is saying, no, now is the time that you're going to go off, you're going to do your own thing, and you're going to be sitting pretty, right? You are going to have a lot of abundance and a lot of happiness coming your way, you know. And I feel like too, with this, again, it's going to offer a lot of opportunities. When we see the Eight of Wands, you know, we always think of leading you to a brand new goal, leading you to higher ground, or somewhere that's going to be better for you, somewhere that's going to be better for your mental health as well, right? And especially with the Empress here, I feel like you guys are growing and you guys are maturing. Now, I do want to grab a card really quick, just to see what other blessing is coming your way, and then we'll go on to your closing cards. I don't know, I thought it would have been enough cards when I originally drew them, but now I'm like, no, I want a little bit more information of what exactly is going to be happening in this new chapter of your life, right? So let's go ahead and see. Let's grab 2 cards, please. Wow, 6 of Wands. Okay, I'll take it. Oh my goodness. So again, that's victory. You know, that is coming home from the hunt, and you brought enough for everyone, right? That's being able to provide for everyone, everything, you know, being able to take care of yourself, being able to be self-sufficient as well. This is victory. This is getting a gold medal, right? Now, it's not necessarily the end goal, but it is saying that you will feel victorious. You will feel energized. You will feel like you belong, right? Especially with the 6 of Wands here and the 7 of Swords. I really just feel like, you know, you are going towards where you belong and where you need to go. You're also stepping into that divine feminine energy. Remember, we were talking about how you're going to feel more compassionate, more nurturing, more loving. You know, I feel like you're stepping away from this divine masculine energy as a whole. Again, for some of you guys, maybe this was literally a karmic twin flame situation that you've been kind of getting out of as well. You know, or maybe you knew someone, maybe someone was kind of leading you on for a while as well, and now you're like, no, I'm leaving the situation. You know, this situation doesn't fit me, this doesn't serve me anymore, and I am leaving. Yeah, you're not even thinking about it, you're just going towards it. You are just finding higher ground. Why? Because on the bottom of the deck, the Hierophant, you are someone who has the keys and the knowledge and the tools to be able to get out of this situation and still be successful and still flourish and still do amazing things, right? You know, the Hierophant is also someone who can make their own decisions. You know, someone who, again, is at harmony with the mind, the body, and the spirit. That's why other people come to them for advice, because they have incorporated every aspect of themselves. They are well-rounded, they are balanced. And I feel like that's what you're going into as well. I feel like with this skull here, you're also realizing that death can be a good thing. You know, I feel like a death of a cycle or a chapter, even though it's very sad and it feels uncomfortable, it feels as if everything's being shaken up with the tower here. It also gives you time to rebuild and to rebuild something even better, where you are wanted, where you do belong, you know, where you are the person who runs this, right? I keep hearing, we're gonna run this town tonight. And I feel like that's very much your energy here, stack one. Beautiful. So on to your last three cards. We have the Burning Oak, the Death card, wow, okay, and the Six of Autumn. Okay, so these last cards I did not draw in the reverse. So that one was reversed, but I'm keeping it upright just because, I don't know, I feel like this deck in particular, it likes to be upright. I feel like it just likes that. So I really do feel like there's going to be a sense of community going forward, spending a little bit more time with people that you know and love, but also understanding, yes, things are coming to an end, but I'm also having my rebirth. You know, I'm able to start over brand new. I feel like the universe also kind of removed you from this cycle. You know, it's almost as if maybe you were dragging your feet a little bit and the universe just kind of snatched you out of there and said, no, absolutely not. You're coming with me, right? But I feel like this is going to be a really amazing time for you. You're going to be so blessed. You know, the Six of Autumn is literally the Six of Wands in this deck. So again, we have two Six of Wands here. This is victory. This is happiness and victory after a death. Victory after, you know, feeling as if your whole world was shaken up and things will never be the same. Yeah, things will never be the same because you are stepping into your power. You are stepping into victory. You are stepping into abundance, right, stack one? So that is awesome. But again, make sure that you are working on meditating. Make sure that you are taking these daily steps to make sure you're doing okay, checking in on yourself as well, really loving yourself. Again, another thing that I do want to say too, you know, maybe posting more pictures of yourself, feeling proud of yourself. Notice how she's, I don't know, the way that she's kind of sitting makes me feel like she's like, oh yes, I'm a beautiful young lady. And I feel like that's very much the energy we have here, right? You know, feeling really good, feeling proud of yourself, feeling proud of the person that you are and who you are in this lifetime, what you look like. Yeah, I just feel like you're embracing yourself, embracing your beautiful and maybe even your little harder qualities as well. You know, maybe your stubbornness or things like that. You're learning how to embrace them and love them. You're loving every aspect of yourself. And I just absolutely love this pile, stack one. So let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this, if this resonated, if you just left a bad situation or you've been thinking about it, or maybe even if this karmic relationship kind of resonated as well. But yeah, definitely let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this, please leave a thumbs up on this video as well. Make sure to hit subscribe and press that little bell icon to be notified every time I upload a brand new reading. But I hope you guys are doing amazing and staying in good health, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye, stack one. Hello to everyone who chose stack 2. Let's get right into your reading and see what chapter in your life is currently closing and what brand new one awaits. So right off the bat, I love the fact that you chose the future is yours iron on and the pearl charm. I definitely feel like you guys have been working with the law of attraction, maybe working with affirmations as well, such as I am successful, I am achieving my goals, I am beautiful, I am full of self-love. I just feel like there's this energy of incorporating I ams into your daily routine, maybe even your morning ritual. Maybe as you're getting ready for work in the morning or as you're getting ready for school, maybe you are repeating these things to yourself. I just feel like you are working with as many spiritual tools as possible. Maybe some of you guys own your own tarot card decks and you've been working with them a little bit more, or just working with some charms. There's just this energy of really incorporating a lot of spiritual tools into your everyday life. Right? Now, going forward, I also feel like you guys haven't always had the easiest road, you know, but it isn't to say that you've had the hardest one either, right? But I feel like you've always made the best out of a bad situation, especially out of this last chapter of your life. I feel like you've really persevered through hard times. You've really pushed forward and really kept a good head on your shoulders. You know, I feel like you're someone who keeps a positive outlook or a positive mindset when it comes to things. And I feel like the universe universe is really about to bless you for that, for keeping your head on straight, for being very humble as well. I feel like you're someone who doesn't brag, you're someone who doesn't really get into toxic situations, or doesn't really like gossip or messiness. I feel like you guys try to avoid that, and that's another thing Spirit is saying. You've cut out all of these kind of negative energies from your life, and you've really been focusing on yourself. And I feel like that is something that is so beautiful. Again, I feel like you know how to make the best out of a bad situation as well. With the pearl being there, pearls usually start out as like a piece of sand or something being stuck, and the oyster starts pushing it around, and the pressure makes it start forming into the beautiful pearl that we know and love, right? And I feel like that's the same thing for you, Stack 2. I feel like the situations and the experiences that you've had or been in have really molded and shaped you into the person that you are. Again, I feel like you don't see it as either negative or positive. You just see it as something that's happened and something that made you into a stronger person, or something that made you into a funnier person, right? I just feel like you see it as growth as opposed to anything else. And that's another thing that Spirit is really, really loving right now, is this mind shift. Maybe your last cycle was all about connecting with the positivity and connecting, with energy work as well. Maybe for some of you guys, you've also been considering getting Reiki. I feel like going forward, that'll be a really wonderful thing. But Spirit's really been loving that you've been working with it so closely, right? Now, going forward, this is summing up your last cycle that is now closing. It says number 18, spirals of manifestation. Yes, exactly. So, you've definitely been working with the law of attraction, whether you know it knowingly or not. I definitely feel like you have been attracting a lot of abundance into your life. Maybe you've already started to see some of your blessings coming in, whether that's finding like a random dollar bill on the ground, or, maybe even stumbling across like a coupon for a free meal somewhere. There's just this energy of being very lucky right now. And it's because you've put in the work previously with this previous chapter in your life. Now, with the number 18, this would be the number 9. Again, talks about spirituality, talks about incorporating your intuition as well on a daily basis, really connecting with your spirit team. I feel like you're someone who might even own your own spiritual practice, or maybe you have your own YouTube channel where you do tarot readings, or maybe even energy readings. There's just this energy of being really, really connected with the divine and connected with spirit. But again, I feel like you've put in the work, and your harvest is about to come to fruition. I feel like everything that you've been hoping for is right there. You are almost at the finish line, right? I keep hearing so close, I can almost taste it. I feel like you are right there at the precipice. And maybe it's something that you've felt for a while now. You feel as if something's going to happen, but you don't necessarily know what it is. And maybe that's why you clicked on this video, right? Maybe you're like, I know that something is happening. I know there's change happening all around me on a cellular level, but I haven't seen it yet, right? And maybe that's the most maddening part, is you're wondering, are my manifestations even working? Is the law of attraction working for me? Yes, it is, Mr. or Mrs. Magician. However this might resonate, I feel like you have this magician type energy, right? I feel like you're someone who is very grounded between both their divine masculine and their divine feminine energies. I feel like you are someone who is very good at staying balanced between them, not straying from one to the other. And I feel like that can sometimes be really hard to do. So good job. I'm really proud of you, Stack 2. But, again, I feel like you're someone who's very, very balanced. You know how to make good decisions. I feel like you know when to be headstrong, when to be passionate, when to be determined and straightforward and blunt, but also when to be nurturing and caring and loving and compassionate, right? And I really do feel like Spirit, again, is really proud of you, because maybe that's something you've been working on, is getting yourself more balanced, working on meditations a little bit more, working on increasing your spirituality or increasing your intuition. And Spirit is really thanking you for that, because I feel like that's going to really help you going forward in this new chapter of your life, right? Because I feel like you're going to be using it a lot more than you ever thought you would. Maybe for some of you guys, you have had this intuitive feeling that you need to start a YouTube channel, or start your own website, or start your own Instagram or TikTok, right? And I feel feel like that push is really what's going to spark something incredible for you guys, right? Maybe you are starting a TikTok where you review books or you review video games that you like, right? But whatever that might look for you, I really do feel like there's a lot of inspiration coming in from the spirit world. Now, going forward onto your next 4 cards, these are talking about your next chapter in your life. What kind of energies are coming your way? So right off the bat, I'm being drawn to summer. It says, bask in joy and light. So again, I really do feel like there's a lot of prosperity coming in, a lot of happiness, a lot of laughter, a lot of good times. I really do feel like this is spending time with family, or maybe even people or animals or situations that feel like family or feel like home, right? For others of you guys, maybe you're traveling back home, traveling to your hometown over this next chapter. You know, maybe you are visiting where you grew up, but there's this energy of really kind of remembering where you come from, remembering your roots, remembering who you are going forward before you step into this abundance, right? Now with White Witch, be the light. Yes, I definitely feel like that's been your energy stack too. You know, I feel like you've been someone who has been working with light magic. You know, maybe you've been also working with candle magic. Maybe you have been working in the way that when you see a flame be put out, you work with the smoke, right? The smoke patterns. Now, another thing too with White Witch, you know, I feel like you're someone who receives a lot of messages through nature. So maybe you're someone who sees a lot of cardinals, you know, or maybe you see a lot of ladybugs. I just feel like there's this energy of seeing nature. Now, notice how there's 2 owls here as well. Very, very intuitively inclined. You know, you are someone who might even be a medium. You know, maybe you can see other forms of energy, you know, especially people that are crossed over. You know, maybe you're a messenger as well for animals. I feel like that could be a big thing for you. Maybe you become an animal communicator, or you've been working with your animals to try to understand them a little bit more, or you're going to be. There's also this energy of maybe you're going to start a career in regards to that. Maybe you work in animal welfare. Maybe you're someone who wants to open your own shelter, or, you know, your own animal rehab. I definitely feel like that's something you could do, right? You know, for others of you, maybe there's just this energy of getting back into nature as well, you know, spending some time outside, whether that's sitting in your backyard or going down to a local park and just spending the day there and reading, right? Whatever that might be, there's just this energy of getting yourself outside, maybe even going mini golfing for the day, right? But incorporating fun and lightheartedness. I feel like that is incredibly important. Now with Animal Guardian, trust your instincts. Again, trust your gut and your intuition, right? Because I really do feel like they are leading you to where you need to go. You know, especially if you just wake up one day and you get this overwhelming vibe of, I need to go here, I need to go down to the record store, right? Just listen to it, just follow it, right? Go towards what your intuition is telling you to do, because I feel like that's where you're going to receive a lot of blessings. Maybe one day you decide, okay, I am going to go down to my local coffee shop, right? And maybe on your way down to the coffee shop, you bump into someone who has an animal, you know, maybe they have a dog, and maybe you pick up automatically on an emotion or a feeling that the animal is feeling. So you stop and you talk to this person, and maybe you let them know, like, hey, you know, I'm getting a little bit of energy here, you know, but I feel like maybe you're going to put yourself out there, and then maybe that's also the start of a new career. For others of you guys, maybe there's this energy of you're going into that record shop like we talked about earlier, and you suddenly feel overwhelmed to walk towards the back of the store and look at the records in the far back to the right of the building. Maybe in that pile, there's going to be a record that stands out to you. So you decide to buy it and take it home. And maybe as you're listening to it, maybe it says your name, right? Or maybe it says a message, or it feels like it connects. Just working with your spirituality in that sense as well, trusting yourself, doing exercises to strengthen that spiritual muscle is going to be so important. Maybe even doing like those intuition games as well would be a really wonderful way to kind of flex that and to get more accustomed to using it, right? Now, for others of you, with Animal Guardian and White Witch, you know, maybe you're going to be put into a situation or multiple situations over this next chapter in your life where maybe you have to reject something or someone, or say no, or put your foot down. You know, Spirit is really saying, you know, it's okay to do that. Don't feel bad about it. Don't feel bad about honoring a boundary. Don't feel bad about honoring yourself, but do it in a way that still stays very light and very sweet and very compassionate and loving, right? Now, going forward, we also have Broken Arrow, embrace the energy of peace. Yes, I feel like for a lot of you guys, maybe with these manifestations, you've been really hoping, you've been praying, you've been saying, hey, I'm really wanting these to come to fruition, but there's also that little bit of doubt or worry or fear in the back of your mind that none of this is actually going to work. And Spirit is saying, embrace the energy of peace. Know that this is all going to come to fruition. And another part of the law of attraction that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about is the fact that you have to be willing to, once you put in all the energy, once you put in all the manifesting, you release it to the universe and you say, universe, do with that what you will. You know, this is my intention. This is what I want to happen. This is how I want to help people with my goal. Can you please make that happen? And then continue about your life, right? Once you release it to the universe, that's when the universe is going to step in and bring you all of this and then some, right? So maybe for some of you guys, when you were in your last cycle, maybe it was constant hyper fixating on when is this going to come in? When is this going to happen? You know, when is this going to get the ball rolling, so to speak? And now Spirit is saying, just trust in the journey, just relax and let it happen the way that it's supposed to. Be in flow with the universe, right? Now, also it's summer, bask in joy and light. You know, again, I feel like a lot of joy is coming your way. I love that we have light here twice. I feel like that's going to be a specific message for someone to start working in light magic. I also feel like with light, maybe it's talking about like, I don't know why I just heard daylight savings. Maybe you guys live in a state that doesn't have daylight savings, or maybe for some of you guys, when it kind of switches back and the days become longer and it's a little bit sunnier out, maybe that's when you're going to see all of your manifestations kind of come into fruition. That's when you're really going to see the cycle changing in your favor, right? But allow yourself to just kind of continue going about your day, you know, have faith in your manifestations and know that they're coming to fruition. Now, going on to your next two cards, these are talking about energies that you're going to be feeling during this time. So we have She Who Stands, Valencia, and She Who Surprises, Breeze. Okay, beautiful. So She Who Surprises, Breeze, surprise, discovery, and revelation. Beautiful. Okay, so yeah, I feel like there's a lot of surprises coming your way over the next year as well with this new chapter in your life. You know, I feel like it's going to bring a lot of excitement, a lot of happiness, a lot of fun times, you know, but make sure that you are, I want to say make sure that you are not hyper fixating on too many things, right? You know, it's almost this energy of seeing the whole picture. You know, I feel like there's this energy as well of don't feel like you need to stay in one place for too long or just do the same thing over and over again. It's okay to take risks. It's okay to go and experience these surprises. Remember how we were talking about doing things spontaneously, right? Just because you're feeling drawn to it by your intuition. I feel like that's also the same energy here, is be open to surprises, be open to trying new things, be open to going new places as well, because I feel like that's going to bring you a lot of opportunities and a lot of happiness. You know, maybe trying new things is also just going to spark a little bit of creativity in your life as well, Stack Team. Maybe for some of you guys, you're painters, you're artists, you're musicians, right? And I feel like that's another thing maybe you've been trying to manifest or to grow a little bit more, is how am I going to get my hobbies or the things that I love into a full-time job or a full-time career? And it's definitely coming your way, right? But I feel like during this period of growth and self-discovery and, you know, trusting your intuition over the next year, I feel like it's going to lead you to a lot of, you know, new people and new situations and new circumstances that are going to lead you to self-discovery, more self-discovery, maybe even discovery of what it is that you want to do long-term. For some of you in this staff, maybe you're a little bit confused still on what it is that you want to do long-term, right? You know, maybe there's just all these ideas that are just kind of up in the air and you're deciding. Maybe over the next year, you're really going to start analyzing and saying, maybe I want to do this instead. You know, I keep hearing as well that maybe the thing that you always thought you wanted isn't actually what you want at all. Maybe you want something entirely different, right? Maybe for some of you guys, you wanted to be on Broadway growing up, right? And now as an adult, you're just kind of like, no, I don't think I want to do that. I think I want to do something like, you know, maybe be a insurance person at home. I don't know. There's just this energy of doing something entirely different, but it's okay because it makes your heart happy, right? And that's not always a bad thing. But with She Who Stands, Valencia, resolute and determined, you know, again, I really do feel like you're someone who is really going to be making these leaps and bounds towards your goals in this next year. And I also feel like you're someone who, with this new chapter, is going to feel very resolute. You're going to feel very firm in, no, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to go. But again, don't let that stubbornness or that need to kind of be the one to say, okay, this is what we're going to do, or be the one that determines what you're doing. You know, don't feel like you have to be in charge all the time. There we go. Thank you, Spirit. You know, I feel like there's a need for control in this pile, and maybe that's also why your manifestations haven't come in previous, is because there's this need to feel in control. And that was the energy that I kept picking up, because I kept feeling like there's something else in this pile that I'm just not able to even grasp with words. And I feel like it's that, you know, because for such a spiritual pile, for people who are so inclined with the law of attraction and, you know, who are so gifted with manifesting, and, you know, people who are just so magical and incredible and intuitive. And yeah, I couldn't quite pinpoint where it was that you felt stuck, but I feel like it's that. I feel like it's the need to be in control, the need to come up with different solutions as well. Maybe you're someone who you envision in your mind all the ways that something can go wrong. So then that way you have many different opportunities to be able to fix that thing, right? Or to have multiple different lines of communication. If someone says this, you can say A, B, or C. And if someone says this, you can say this, or this, right? I feel like you're constantly kind of analyzing a situation and saying, how can I be in control of this? And again, it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? It might just be something that your soul it feels so comfortable doing, right? Maybe even in previous lifetimes, maybe people were constantly in control of things for you. And now is the time where you're saying, no, I want to be in control. I want to be the one that's in charge. But Spirit is also saying, make sure that you're not just standing firm in that and being stubborn, right? Or not moving because you're waiting for something or something to happen, right? You know, I feel like Spirit is saying, stay open to making discoveries, to going out spontaneously, to having fun, to, you know, maybe if your friends say, hey, do you want to go out and spend time together? You know, saying yes. You know, of course you could potentially say no, but Spirit is saying, you know, push yourself a little bit, to go towards new things. You know, don't feel like you have to just stand and wait and just hope for things to happen. But I also feel like, with that being said, for a lot of you guys, these manifestations are coming in regardless. I mean, like, you could literally just be standing around waiting, and I feel like these manifestations are coming in because you are someone who is very, very powerful when it comes to manifesting. But I feel like Spirit, again, is just saying, like, don't be stuck in your ways, you know, don't get caught up in being stubborn or needing to be in control. Surrender yourself to the universe, and that's what's going to bring in this new journey and this new opportunity, right? So going forward onto your next few cards, sorry for the ramble. I just felt like that was such an important message, and I didn't want to leave the oracle cards until I realized what that was, and I was just like, what the? But going forward, these are just talking about the previous chapter that you've been through, and why you're kind of leaving it behind, right? So we have the King of Swords in the reverse, the Six of Swords in the upright, the Seven of Chalices in the reverse, the Queen of Wands in the reverse, the Five of Swords in the upright, and the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Wow. Okay. So this is a very heavy energy, right? It very much almost makes me want to get like a stress headache for you guys. I feel like it's a very stressful time. You know, even though you have been working on yourself, working with your spirituality, trying to manifest, I feel like you've been trying to get out of a very heavy situation. For a lot of you guys, you know, maybe you have been really trying to get to calmer waters, been trying to get to where you feel like you have more possibilities, more potentials, more opportunities for yourself. Maybe you felt a little bit stuck. You felt as if you aren't getting anywhere career-wise. You're not doing something that you're passionate about. There's kind of this energy as well that you feel as if even if you did put your resume online that no one would look, or you just feel like you're constantly being overlooked by places, by people, by things, by situations. Maybe that's what really gave you that push to start working with the law of attraction and start manifesting in the first place, is you're like, I don't want to be stuck in this energy. You know, it feels like a blockage. It feels like, it feels like nothing's kind of going to plan or the way that you want. And maybe that's also why there's this need to control things, right? I don't blame you. I would probably feel the same way here as well too, stack two. I mean, if you feel like there's no opportunities, no possibilities for yourself, that you can't follow the things that you actually love, because how are the things you love actually going to make you money? I definitely feel like that can feel very much like you're trapped. I feel like there's even this energy of, I don't even have enough time to read. I don't have enough time to do the things that I want. So you really had to squeeze in time to manifest or to work with your spirituality or to work on things. But remember how I was saying earlier that you make the best out of a bad situation with the pearl? That is this exactly. And I feel like, again, that goes back into needing to control a situation. You want to turn it into a better situation. You want to make it better. You are someone who is innately a helper. You are a healer. You have a very healing energy. For some of you guys, maybe you're going to get into palm readings or Reiki healings as well. Maybe you yourself are a healer. Maybe you're getting into the medical field. There's just this energy that you want to help and you want to be able to be of service to people, right? I feel like that's your calling, to be of service, wherever that might be. But I feel like previous in this last cycle, you felt as if you were very stagnant. You felt as if you weren't getting anywhere. You weren't growing. You weren't leveling up. You just felt very defeated, especially with this Five of Swords here. This is kind of like looking around. This guy is basically the only one that's still alive, and he's completely unscathed, but around him is a mess. And I feel like maybe that's the same energy that we have here too. Maybe previously in this last cycle, for some of you guys, maybe your house was very messy as well, and you've just been getting in this mode of, I need to clean, I need to reorganize, I need to spiffy up my space, and then I need to do it mentally as well. I need to kind of do that also with my spirituality. Maybe I need to dust off the cobwebs of my spiritual muscle, right? But I definitely feel like you guys are manifesting to get out of this situation, and quick, right? But it's almost not felt like it's been quick enough. It's almost felt like you've been stuck in one place. I keep hearing stop and stare. Feels like I'm moving, but I go nowhere. It's almost as if everyone around you is progressing at such a incredible speed, and then you're just being left behind, right? And again, too, I feel like with that kind of stop and stare energy that we just had, maybe you're also looking around at people and you feel like people are criticizing you, even though they're not. Let me just say that right off the bat, stack too. I feel like you have a lot of people that care about you, that are worried about you, that are concerned, right? But they never look at you in any form of judgment. I feel like the community that you have around you genuinely wants to support you. I feel like they really want to take care of you, and kind of get you onto the next path that you're going towards. But I feel like you almost judge yourself so hard in the past that you've almost wondered if other people are judging you as well. And I feel like Spirit is saying to break out of that as well, that you are someone who, is very lovely. It's just very wonderful, right? So don't be worried that other people are thinking negatively about you. And even if they are, that's on them, right? Let me just put that out there. For others of you, I do want to say as well, this is for a select few, maybe you've been seeing a lot of like black birds, maybe a lot of crows, a lot of ravens out lately. I also feel like maybe some of you own a cat, or you have a cat in your home. Maybe you've been seeing a stray cat. It doesn't have to be a black cat, but I love that we have the black cat here in the Queen of Wands, and then we also have this panther here. So definitely I feel like your animals, if you have them, are protecting you, stack two. I feel like they're also very proud of you. There's this energy of, they want you to see yourself through their eyes, and just love yourself as they love you, right? But going forward, again, I just feel like you're trying to escape this situation, but it's not fast enough. You feel as if, it's not progressing in the way that you need to. It's very much this energy of taking 2 steps forward and then 3 steps back, right? You almost feel like you're never making progress, but you are, right? It's baby steps. You are slowly getting there. But again, I feel like the universe is working behind your back, and it's working like double time to be able to get you out of this situation and somewhere better, right? Now, going forward onto the next part of your life, this next chapter in your life, we have the 6 of Pentacles, the 10 of Wands in the reverse, hell yeah, the 5 of Swords in the upright, okay, the 9 of Swords in the reverse, the Star card in the upright, and the 6 of Wands in the upright. Oh my gosh, wow, stack 2. Okay, so you don't have to be waiting much longer. Let me just put that out there, my love. 6 of Pentacles is generosity. It is also talking about abundance, maybe a large paycheck coming in. For some of you guys, maybe this is just finding a way to make a little bit more money, getting kind of like a side job or a side gig. For some of you guys, maybe starting your own spirituality practice, maybe starting your own YouTube or TikTok channel where you start showing off your songs that you write if you're a musician. There's just this energy of putting yourself out there and people really enjoying you. And I really do want to say as well, I feel like there is a specific message for someone here. Maybe you're an artist, maybe you draw or you paint or you have these elaborate pieces that you work on. And I feel like maybe you've been concerned, like the amount of money that I would need to sell these paintings at would be so expensive, like who would buy them? And Spirit is saying here that there's an audience. For anything that anyone makes, there is an audience for you. There is someone on the planet who would look at that and be like, oh my gosh, I need to have it. Maybe you make egg-shaped lights, right? Or maybe you make stuffed animals in the shape of oysters, whatever that might look like to you. There's very much this energy of there's going to be someone out there who will support you and who will love what you produce, right? So don't feel bad about that. Keep progressing, keep moving forward. I also feel like your friends and family members are really going to notice your hard work during this time. I wouldn't be surprised if you get a few calls from people who are like, hey, can we go out to dinner? My treat. I just wanted to spoil you for the night. I wouldn't be surprised if people are reaching out to take you out and to treat you well, right? Especially after leaving this very toxic cycle, you are getting into something better. There's going to be so many opportunities, so many blessings. And remember how we were talking about the oyster and the pearl at the beginning of the reading. Ta-da! I love that we have it here as the Star card. Oh my gosh. I just love it. Now, with this card, again, it talks about making the best out of a bad situation, feeling hopeful, knowing that there's a light in the distance, knowing that there's always hope. And I feel like with this next chapter, you're leaving behind the hardships. You're no longer having to take around all of this, maybe guilt or all this work or having to shoulder everything. You're no longer having to basically worry so much or, live in this lack mentality. You are dropping these swords and you're going forward without any anxieties. The 9 of Swords in the reverse, we want to see it like this because it talks about having sleep-filled nights again, no longer having nightmares, no longer having bad dreams. For some of you guys, maybe you've been having bad dreams about this previous cycle in your life, about people or about situations that caused you a lot of grief. For others of you, maybe you're having like work-themed nightmares. And I feel like Spirit is saying that you're going to progress out of this. And I feel like for some of you, this is going into a new job. This is going into a new way of being. For some of you, maybe you're even a baker. Maybe you do an at-home business for your baked goods. And that's something that's going to do really well. For some of you guys, maybe you're going to farmers markets, you're doing fairs, you're doing conventions where you sell your items. There's just this energy of putting yourself out there and people really appreciating your work and what it is that you're going to be doing. There's a lot of success here. There's a lot of happiness, and notice how we have another bee. Oh my gosh. So again, bees, they're very hard workers. You know, and I feel like that's the same for you guys, Stack 2. I feel like you're very work motivated and work oriented. I feel like you're someone who constantly strives to do better. You know, and maybe that's also something in this new chapter of your life. You're learning how to have a work and life balance, you know, learning how to work and not exhaust yourself, right? But I just feel like there's so many good things that are coming your way and so many victories ahead as well. Six of Wands literally talks about victory. So I'm just going to grab a few cards really quick, if that's okay. I just want to grab 3 cards on what other blessings are coming Stack 2's way. Okay, the Seven of Swords, the Three of Wands, and the Six of Coins. Okay, I'm going to keep it in the upright just because this last one that I did, I was thinking in my mind that I would like them to be in the upright, but I'll also read it for the reverse just so then that way we get the double meaning. Because right off the bat, you know, you also might have been drawn to Stack 1 for a select few of you guys, only a few, but I feel like the majority, this is your pile, right? But with 7 of Swords, 3 of Wands, and 6 of Coins, you know, again, I feel like it's going to be an uphill battle. I feel like you're still having these stepping stones. I feel like you're still getting to where it is that you need to go. You know, so it's not going to come in all at once, but it's going to come in pretty fast, right? You know, I love that we have the 6 of Coins here. And okay, another thing that I do want to mention for those of you who are entrepreneurs or people who are creating their own business, or maybe even working from home, I really feel like, yeah, you're going to be working hard, but I feel like there's people in the background that are going to be supporting you. I just feel like you're going to have a whole community of people that are rallying behind you. For some of you guys, maybe also just getting a promotion at work, right? But you are on your right path. I really do feel like you are going towards happiness. You are going towards success. You are going towards freedom and happiness, and it's going to be pretty quick. But for some of you guys, again, it's going to not feel as quick as you would have liked. You know, I feel like maybe for some of you guys, there's this energy of wanting it done like tomorrow. You know, and Spirit is saying, of course, that's kind of not really realistic, maybe for some of you guys, you know, but it's still going to go pretty quick. You know, it's going to go quicker than you thought. You know, maybe this is even something that'll take less than half a year to even get there, right? But I really do feel like this new chapter in your life is bringing you so much security, so much happiness, so much brightness in your life, right? And blessings, just a bunch of blessings. Now, going forward onto your last 3 cards, these are just talking about the energies that you might be feeling in this new chapter of your life. So we have the 10 of Summer, the 2 of Spring, and the Knight of Winter. You're feeling very abundant. You're feeling very successful, very happy. The 10 of Summer is the 10 of Coins. This is literally money all around. Like, there's enough for everyone. There's plenty of money for anything. If you want to have fun money, if you need to buy groceries, like, there is more than enough. Again, with the 2 of Spring, I feel like you're going to feel very inspired during this time, a very good time to work on your arts, to work on your hobbies. You know, again, if you're a musician, writing songs down as well. And again, with the Knight of Winter, it's just really, again, stating that it's going to go fast. Again, time is very much different for Spirit, you know, so a half a year or even a year, it sounds kind of long to us, but realistically, in the grand scheme of the universe, a year is nothing. A year is like a blip in the universal experience, right? So I definitely feel like Spirit is saying, enjoy where you are now, because one day you're going to be reflecting and you're going to say, wow, I made it. Like, I came so far. I'm not where I was even like a year ago. You know, I just feel like there's a sense of pride and excitement and rejoicing, right? Knowing that you have all that you would need and then some, you know, plus to know that you are surrounded by a good community. You know, I feel like the people around you or the people that you're going to be meeting over the next few years, they're going to be kind of like your soul tribe, right? And I feel like these are people who are going to grow with you, who are also on their own journeys of transformation and discovering who they are. But it's just going to be such an amazing time for abundance and happiness, and most of all, fulfillment, self-fulfillment, you know, feeling as though you can accomplish anything and do anything, and that, I really also feel like now's the time to really be focusing on your creativity and your hobbies. I really do feel like Spirit is saying to also don't worry about resting. Allow yourself to rest, allow yourself to relax. Don't guilt yourself when you feel the need to take a break. Again, taking inventory of your body, seeing how it's doing, and then going forward from there. But there's definitely a lot of abundance coming your way, Stack, too. Oh my goodness. But again, also feel free to drop the need of controlling the situation, right? And especially those that might have a lot of earth placements. I'm also hearing that there may be a Sagittarius in this pile as well, also a Cancer, and a Leo. But I also feel like you guys just trust the universe. Just go with the universal flow. And I feel like you're going to be gifted so many beautiful things and so many abundances. So definitely let me know in the comments down below what you thought of Stack 2. Let me know if it resonated, if you're already starting to see these changes, or what kind of cycle you are stepping out of, if this sounded like the cycle you were just in. Definitely, though, make sure to leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this, and press subscribe if you have not already, and hit that little bell icon to be notified every time I upload a brand new reading. But I hope you guys are doing amazing and staying in good health, and I hope I have the opportunity to see you again in the next video. Bye, you guys! Hello to everyone who chose Stack 3. Let's get right into your reading and see what chapter in your life is closing and what brand new one awaits. So right off the bat, I love the fact that you chose the Death Iron on with this beautiful round charm. It kind of reminds me of a dream catcher in a way, right? Like with all of the intricate designs. And I feel like you guys are really focusing on your dreams right now, really focusing on your goals and the things that you're really wishing for. For some of you guys, maybe you've been hoping for a partnership or some form of relationship that's going to come in. I feel like that chapter in your life is finally opening. It's kind of like when you're reading a romance book and then there's all like the character building and character development and you get to know the character and then finally the romance happens, right? And I feel like Spirit is saying, like, we've saved the best for last sort of a deal. Not that this is like the last thing ever, but, I kind of feel like it's been a long time coming, or at least it's felt that way. It's felt like it's been a long time since you've been in a really great relationship or a connection that is really intimate and personal and sweet. But I feel like now is your time to shine, right? I also feel like there's a little bit of energy of getting out into nature, spending time outside, especially with all of the beautiful imagery of mushrooms on here. I just feel like that's so beautiful. Some of you guys might be working in a garden, or maybe even bringing some plants inside of your house. Maybe some of you guys have a lot of like pothos in your house, or African violets. Maybe some of you guys also have huge aloe plants as well. There's just this energy of you guys being very connected to nature at this time. For some of you guys, maybe you really love video games that chose this pile as well, because I keep thinking of like Baldur's Gate. So maybe you guys really love that video game, which also Baldur's Gate also has a lot of romance in it, even though it's super action packed and it's still like, an adventure game. There's still a lot of romance, and you can romance all of the companions. And I feel like that's the energy that we have here for you guys, is that you're embarking on your own journey and you're going to have the chance to talk to many different people and have a lot of different connections. For some of you guys, it might be a little hard to choose. Maybe you have had your eyes set on one person for so long that now you have to start looking elsewhere, and you're like, but what do I even like in a person, right? For others of you guys, maybe you've just never had a relationship before and you're excited to be in one, right? And I feel like it's right around the corner. Now, I will say, I feel like this relationship that you're going to step into is one that's going to encourage personal growth and also going to encourage transformation between both of you. It's going to be a very mature relationship. I feel like it's going to be based on reciprocity. It's going to be very healthy. Even if you guys didn't stay together long term, I feel like you would still stay friends with this individual. It just feels like a very healthy connection, right? And for some of you guys that chose this pile, maybe that's something you're not used to in regards to relationships. You're used to maybe a little bit of a tumultuous situation, or maybe someone who is a little bit pushy. But I feel like anyone who's watching this pile, you're going to be stepping into a partnership where it is kind, it's full of compassion, it's full of love, it's full of understanding as well, wanting to know you, wanting to know what you like, what makes you tick, like wanting to really make you happy and really please you as well. I feel like this person loves to please their partner. Now, going forward onto your first two cards, these are just talking about the energies of the cycle that you are leaving behind. So we have number 13, power of attraction. Oh my gosh, and there's two people there. Wow, okay. And number 1, after the storm. Beautiful. Okay. So again, there might have been a big shakeup in your life as well. There might have been a lot of change that happened previous in this last chapter of your life. You know, remember how I was saying that Spirit kind of saved the best for last? So it's almost like you've been through a lot of growth, you've been through a lot of transformation, you've been through a lot of hardships. But now Spirit is saying after the storm, you are stepping into a wonderful connection here. And especially it says the power of attraction. I feel like this individual has been manifesting you as well. It's almost like the two of you have been constantly hoping and praying and searching for their soulmate or their other half or their twin flame. And I feel like now both of you guys are healthy enough to step forward and come together into union. For a lot of you guys, I feel like this is a soulmate that has been with you through many lifetimes, and they're coming back to be with you again. It's very, very much a very spiritually based connection. It's almost like when you first meet them, your spirit just recognizes them, and you could spend a year together and it feels like 5 years. It's not because time stretches on with them, but it's because you feel like you've known them a lot longer than you actually do, right? It's just your soul recognizes them. Your soul says, I know you. Like, we've been together so many times before. And this person might even say that to you. Like, I feel like I recognize you. I feel like I know you. For some of you guys, maybe this is someone who you've been friends with before in the past and lost contact with. For others of you guys, this is an entirely new person. But regardless, this is someone who shares a lot of your likes, a lot of your interests, and even in the things that they don't, I feel like both of you guys are going to be healthy and open enough to explore each other's interests, right? So if this person really likes like baseball and pretzels, and you don't like pretzels, but you've also never had a pretzel, so you're like, okay, go try them and we'll go to a baseball game and we'll have fun, right? I think that you do that for them. And then if you were someone who really liked embroidery, like just embroidering everything, they would say, okay, let's go have a day where we sit down and we embroider together. You teach me how to embroider, right? I just feel like both of you guys are going to be very open to the idea of new situations, new hobbies, new ways to express yourselves, especially in a relationship, right? Now, I will say this is going to be an extremely happy and healthy connection. I feel like you guys physically will be all over each other. It's almost like even when you're apart, you still feel like you're spiritually touching in a sense. It could even be that before you guys get together, you astral project to each other. You might wake up from sleeping and you might feel exhausted and say to yourself, I was just spending time with Jacob. And it feels like you were literally just there with him, right? Like it felt so real. You felt like you were touching him. And I feel like Spirit is saying that you are astral projecting to even see this person because your souls truly cannot be separated for a long period of time. And it's funny because one of you might be older than the other by like a year or two. I feel like there's a little bit of an age difference here. Not a lot, but for some of you maybe, but I feel like it's more like one of you was reincarnated first and the other one said, I don't really want to. And then a year passed and they were like, actually, I changed my mind. I gotta go. I gotta be with Samantha. And, you know, this person just jumped right back in, right? I just feel like both of you guys are very tied to one another. It's been many lifetimes. For some of you guys, I feel like you have been romantically involved in multiple lifetimes as well. You know, I just feel like your souls are very drawn to each other. You're very connected, and you're going to instantly notice that. It's almost as if you guys are Bluetoothed into each other as well because you finish each other's sentences. You guys instantly know with just a look how the other person is feeling as well. It is such a deep connection. Another thing too is I feel like you guys are going to expand one another's minds in certain ways. So I feel like you're going to bring a level of spirituality to this individual, a little bit more understanding of their intuition and understanding spirit as a whole, maybe even synchronicities or signs. And I feel like this person is going to help you kind of get grounded and become more connected with your earth earthly self, so to speak. You know, I feel like this person is really good at operating in the 3D. I feel like every lifetime that they've lived, they know how to be successful. They're very resilient. I feel like this person, they're kind of like a MacGyver type, right? I feel like this person could like be dropped off on an island with like a spoon and a box of matches and they'd be totally fine. Like this person would find a way to live with that spoon. They'd be like, okay, we're out here, we're doing it. And I feel like that's something that they're going to help you with as well, is learning how to remain calm in certain situations, how to be resourceful, how to maybe even upcycle. Maybe this person is like really big on waste not, want not, and like doesn't want to throw anything out, doesn't want to waste anything. I feel like this individual is going to be like DIYing or constantly recycling. This might even be the type of person who like saves cups, like if they go out and like they go to Cane's and they buy like the little Post Malone plastic cup and then they bring it home and they use it for other things like a painting cup, or like, you know, maybe that's how they stocked their cabinets. I don't know, which I love. I do that too. No shame in my game here. But I definitely feel like this individual is very connected to the earth, though. Maybe even very connected with nature. For some of you guys, maybe this person's a photographer, or maybe you're a photographer. And I feel like you guys are really going to connect over your love of the earth and your love of animals. And, you know, also I feel like maybe the two of you guys would be people watchers. I keep getting this vision of you guys sitting maybe near a waterfront or sitting like at a little pond or somewhere and watching people walk by and kind of giggling with each other, like teenagers, right? Like just looking at people and just joking and laughing and having a good time and genuinely being happy to see other people. You know, I feel like you guys experience even the mundane things as something very exciting, right? For some of you guys in a relationship, I feel like you guys are taking it to the next level, possibly becoming engaged. But for others, I feel like this is a brand new relationship that you're about to step in, because this past energy feels like you're just manifesting. It feels like you're trying to bring it in, and Spirit is saying, yeah, now is the time that you're going to meet them. So going forward onto this next area of your life, this next chapter, let's get some more information. So we have the Shield Maiden, Autumn Lord, and She-Wolf. Beautiful. Okay. So right off the bat with Shield Maiden, make plans and focus. Perfect. So right now is not the time to sit idly by while your dreams pass. Yes, there is this beautiful partnership that is coming your way or is brewing, but now is the time to focus on your career, focus on your passions, focus on things that really light that fire from underneath you and get you excited to be in the world, right? Because I feel like that's another thing that this person really loves about you, Stack 3. I feel like they see you as someone who's very self-reliant, as someone who can get the job done, someone who is very focused on their own needs and wants and desires, and they really love that. I feel like that really turns them on, the idea of someone who stands firm on their own 2 feet and takes care of themselves and really focuses on their job. I feel like that's really important. Some of you guys as well, I feel like this person's really going to bond over tattoos with you as well. Maybe this person's literally a tattoo artist, but I feel like there's an energy there where maybe this person's going to compliment your tattoos if you have any, or maybe even vice versa. But I really do feel like this individual is going to love how determined and dedicated you are to yourself and to your goals and your accomplishments. For some of you guys, I feel like you're very career driven. The number 6 keeps coming up in my mind's eye as well, which very much reminds me of abundance. Maybe you've also felt very comfortable in every other area of your life, but you're like, when is romance going to pick up? Like, when is this going to happen, right? And I feel like Spirit is very much saying it is right around the corner. It is happening. But right now with Autumn, release the old and rest. Yes. So definitely work hard, play hard, you know, rest hard as well. I feel like with release the old and rest, maybe releasing these old outdated beliefs of this person isn't coming in, or, you know, I'm not going to like this individual if they do X, Y, and Z. Like, I feel like maybe for some of you guys, there is a specific idea or form that you expect this person to come in, right? And I feel like Spirit is saying release that. Like, sure, you can still have all of the whole list of what you want your partner to be like, right? But I feel like don't judge a book by its cover. Allow this individual to get to know you, you know, really give people a chance. But again, if your intuition gives you like weird vibes at all, step away from this person. It's not this individual. But, you know, if they don't, if they're really sweet, if they're very kind, but they just don't really look like Brad Pitt and you're looking for Brad Pitt, right? I feel like Spirit's very much saying, like, give this individual a chance because they are sweet, they are kind, they are loving. You know, this is someone who would give you the shirt off of their back without ever needing any form of compensation or their shirt back. Like, they don't care. They just want to help someone, right? I feel like this is a very good individual, but don't be so firm in your ways that you feel like you need to date a specific type of person. Or, you know, maybe this individual works at a job that is just temporary for right now, right? Like maybe they, I don't know, maybe they work at like Winco or like Albertsons or something, but like that's just maybe for the summer. Maybe they're a teacher and then during the summer they pick up odd jobs, right? Or something like that. Like, I don't know, Spirit's just saying give this person a chance and don't judge a book by its cover, because I feel like when you meet them, you're going to realize like they are all that in a bag of chips. Like, this person has their finances in check. Like, this person's very driven. I feel like they probably wouldn't even need to work. Like, I feel like they're financially abundant enough that they can just exist, right? But I feel like this individual loves to work. I feel like that's a big part of their identity. And maybe that's, again, why they love the fact that you're also a very hard worker as well with what you do, Stack 3, right? So again, keep focusing on yourself. This person will come. This person will make the moves, right? I feel like this is someone who is very much in their divine masculine energy, regardless of gender. They will make a move, right? And Lord, take charge with authority as well. Again, I feel like that's very much going to be their energy. They're not going to be scared. They're just going to do it, right? And again, I also feel like for you as well, if you feel called to make the first move potentially, sure, you can. Why not? You know, I feel like this person would really like that, right? But also don't, if it's causing you anxiety or stress or worry, don't feel like you need to. Again, I feel like this individual is going to be the one that handles making the first move. But taking charge with authority, even in your own life, you know, this could also be applying for jobs internally. If you already work somewhere and maybe they're looking for like an assistant manager, maybe they're looking for someone who's going to be a supervisor or someone who just has a higher role, you know, don't pass that up. Like, go ahead and apply for it. It doesn't hurt to apply. You know, maybe you're even looking online and applying for things, you know, just to see if you can get them. Keep doing that, right? I feel like your career right now and your hobbies and the things that you love are going to really help you. And it's also going to help with the law of attraction with this individual, because once we release and we allow ourselves to go in the flow with the universe, that's when all of our blessings kind of come to us, right? But with She-Wolf, unleash the wild within. Yes. So now is the time to really let your hair down as well. Don't worry so much about what this individual is going to think about you. And here's why. Spirit keeps telling me that the individual that you're going to be with, right, that's coming in for this divine partnership, if they make you feel uncomfortable, if they make you feel anxious, this isn't the person for you, because this person's going to make you feel comfortable. They're going to make sure that you feel secure. They're going to be the type of person that you could literally make Bigfoot noises at them for like an hour straight, and they would just be encouraging you. They'd be like, hell yeah, baby, you keep doing that, right? Like, I feel like this individual is very, very supportive and very goofy, very funny. Even though they can come off very serious, I feel like they have a very funny side to them, a very joking side to them. And I feel like this individual wants you to be just as playful as they are. Another thing too for you guys, I feel like in this next cycle, maybe working with the moon is going to help, maybe doing rituals on the new and full moons. I feel like that will be incredibly important. Another thing too, for some of you guys, maybe your birthday is in autumn time, maybe this person's birthday is in autumn time, kind of gives me like Scorpio vibes as well. Scorpio, Libra, You know, maybe even for some of you guys, Sagittarius, that's more towards like winter, but I did want to mention it. Another thing too that I want to mention before we get into the cards, dressing up as well. You know, I see you wearing a lot of jewelry, a lot of, maybe some of you guys get like hair extensions, or maybe you just decide to do your hair a little bit differently. There's this kind of like stepping out of the box from your normal routine, you know, and maybe changing things up a little tiny bit, right? But again, just having fun. Maybe some of you guys are deciding to go out to like clubs or something. I don't know. I feel like that's for a very select few of you, but there's this energy of getting out there, having fun, letting your hair down, and just kind of letting loose, going wild, so to speak, right? You know, and maybe also this person, they want to know that you have a wild side. You know, maybe they want someone who, you know, can be serious, but can also be, you know, very wild and exciting and adventurous and fun at the same time, right? Now, going forward onto your next 3 cards, these are talking about energies that you might be experiencing during this next chapter in your life. Wow, she who loved once, blue, fragile, secret love and rejection. You might be worried that you might get rejected by this individual, or that if you put yourself out there, you know, maybe there's a little bit of fear of, what if I find no one? What if no one wants to match with me? What if no one wants to be with me, right? And Spirit is saying, release those old thoughts, release those worries, especially those that are maybe going onto dating apps, or maybe even going through like meetup sites to be able to meet new people. I feel like you're not going to have to worry. You're someone who is very beautiful or very handsome. You're just very attractive, but I feel like it's also in a very different way. Like with blue here, it kind of reminds me of like a Tim Burton character, which I love. You know, really big, beautiful, expressive eyes. You know how they say eyes are the window to the soul? I very much feel like that's you guys' vibe. You might have had people in the past comment on your eyes, how beautiful they are, that they're deep, that they're expressive. You know, I feel like that's something that really pulls people in, or the eyes. I really do feel like that's important for people. When they're getting to know you, they just love looking into your eyes. You're also someone who is just so, so beautiful. You hold yourself with an air of authority as well. And I feel like Spirit wants you to continue to do that. Hold yourself in a high regard, you know, kind of puff your chest out, hold yourself up, work on your posture for some of you guys, which I'm guilty of too. I'm literally sitting in my chair slumped over as we speak. But so going forward with blue, I feel like this is also just wearing your heart on your sleeve, being open to other people, showing them your emotions, showing them how you're feeling as well, without being scared of being rejected. You know, I feel like for some of you guys, you are feeling very fragile when you put yourself out there and when you try to get to know other individuals. You know, but I feel like the right person is going to treat you very, very delicately and very gently. So I don't think you have to worry there. But again, keep in touch with your feelings in regards to your body and your intuition, and just so you know if this is the right person, right? Because again, this isn't someone who is going to make you feel uncomfortable. They're going to actively make sure that you're participating in conversation. They're going to actively be listening. You know, this is someone who really values their partner, right? Now we also have she who resists, Odas. Fearless, justified, and resistant. Beautiful. So again, embrace that fearless energy. What are the song lyrics? Dressed up in my best dress, fearless. I don't think those are the right lyrics, but it's very much giving like fearless era. But I definitely feel like with resistant and with justified as well, you know, you are someone who is worth more. So don't feel bad, like maybe even you rejecting other people, or you saying no to people in order to get to someone that you actually do vibe with and you do like, right? So don't feel scared or worried or concerned to do that either. You know, that's the whole point of dating, is you go out, you see if you connect with someone. If you don't, okay, oh well, you know, but if you do, great. You know, there's nothing ventured, nothing gained. You know, I feel like that's the whole point of dating. Now we also have she who is wild. Oh my gosh, we have 2 cards here about being wild. Born to be wild. I definitely feel like that's you guys' energy right now, right? Wow, so it says untamed, wild, and mysterious. Dang, you know, maybe that's kind of how spirit wants you to present yourself, you know, go out with this air of mystery, this air of authority, this air of, it's kind of like the high priestess, right? Where she's very spiritually aware, but she won't settle for less as well, because she's very intelligent. She's very book smart. She's very well read. She's just all of that in a bag of chips, right? But you also want to get to know her because she is so mysterious and she's so inviting. And it's almost like she's a little bit of a puzzle that you have to kind of go about solving, right? But with Untamed and Wild, again, if you're going out, dance like no one's watching, have fun. I feel like that's what's really going to draw people in. And especially when you go on dates, like allow your real personality to shine. If you're someone who is known by your friends to be like wild, you go out and you're like, woohoo! And you're like always dancing, you're yelling, you know, you're excited. Maybe you're someone who's always shouting things out at concerts or at movies. I don't know. There's just this energy of you being very interactive, very emotive, very funny as well. Spirit is saying, don't dull that down. Act like you do around your best friends, around these potential partners. And that's how you're going to kind of rule out as well who is a prince and who is a frog, right? Because I really do feel like to get to this individual, maybe you also have to kiss a few frogs to be able to get there. But I feel like this person is going to love your wild side. They're going to want to show you off to their friends. They're going to know that you're going to be a good time, so they can take you to things. They can take you to parties. They can take you to weddings, and you'll be the one on the dance floor dancing, trying to catch the bouquet, right? There's just this energy of them loving your presence because you are fun. You know, I feel like you're a firecracker normally, so don't dull that around this person, right? I feel like that's really important. So going forward onto your next few cards, these are talking about the cycle that is closing and the energies that are attached to that. Interesting that we literally have the High Priestess here. Wow, okay, yeah. So that is really interesting. So we have the Five of Wands in the reverse. We have the High Priestess card here. We have the Empress. We also have the Four of Wands in the reverse and the Queen of Chalices in the upright. Beautiful. Okay, so right off the bat, I will actually say, I feel like you have been maturing and you've been leveling up here a lot. Oh, I am so sorry. That's actually not the High Priestess. That is the Page of Pentacles. Regardless, it still kind of gives the same energy. It's very much like she is cleansing herself, but she's also staying very grounded. You know, she very much has that air of mystery to her, right? You know, she's someone who you just look at her and you know she's like very spiritually inclined. She's very in touch with her intuition, and she's very in touch with the universe as well, but she's also not someone to be messed with. And I feel like that kind of air of intimidation is you know, maybe something that you've also done so you could keep people away. So then that way you could focus on yourself, focus on your finances, focus on your goals and your ambitions, right? But now Spirit is saying that you are opening up to love. Maybe you were very closed off in the past without even realizing it. Maybe you were always like, why am I so single? But then at the same time, you would say things like, I am so busy, I could not have a relationship, or I am so busy, I don't even have time for myself. And the universe took that as, oh, okay, you don't have time for yourself, so there's no time for a relationship, right? So it's all about the universe waiting until you had time in a way, right? So with the Four of Wands in the reverse, it's very much making me feel like, again, you've had everything. You have the career, you have, you know, maybe you are just about to move out on your own, or maybe you are getting your own apartment, or maybe you're moving into a dorm. You know, it's almost like you are taken care of, right? You don't have to worry. You know, you are sitting pretty, but you're still waiting for your partner. You know, you're kind of like, what's a queen without her king? What's an empress without her emperor, right? And I feel like that's you guys' energy. You're kind of just like, okay, well, where is he? What time is it? Like, come on now. And I feel like this individual really loves the fact that you've gotten yourself as established as you are, right? Because again, you are so determined, you are so dedicated. With the Empress here as well, notice how she's pregnant. For some of you guys, maybe it's been kind of a dream of yours to have a baby in the future. For others of you guys, maybe it's just, you know, your own goals and your own ambitions that you have been ruminating on and thinking about and bringing to fruition, right? Because you are someone who is capable of doing that. But again, it's very much been alone. It's very much been you against the world, you doing this by yourself and just kind of like biding your time and waiting for this individual to come in, right? But I really do feel like this person, it's going to be worth the wait, right? I really do feel like they're going to be worth the wait. So in your next cycle, these next few cards are going to be talking about what this next chapter is bringing into your life. So we have the Page of Pentacles in the upright. Wow, that's interesting. We have 2 Page of Pentacles here. The 2 of Pentacles, the Judgment card in the reverse, the Magician in the upright, the 7 of Chalices in the reverse, the Strength card in the upright, and the Ace of Swords in the upright. Okay, I'm just going to put it here for now. So right off the bat, you know, I feel like going forward throughout this next cycle, you know, again, you're going to keep manifesting, you're going to keep putting out what it is that you want. Again, for some of you guys, it's very much journaling and writing down all the qualities in a partner that it is that you want going forward, but also staying very flexible in that. But Spirit is also saying continue to focus on yourself, you know, maybe saving a little bit of money, putting it aside for an emergency fund. I feel like that is going to be really important. For others of you, maybe you're redecorating your home in this next cycle of your life as well, while you wait on this individual or this partner to come in. You know, I also want you to know that you have a lot more opportunities for love than you think you do, right? Because with the 7 of Chalices in the reverse, even though we do have this partnership coming in and maybe even potential other dates coming in as well, I definitely feel like Spirit is saying don't feel like you don't have a lot of options, or don't feel like the dating pool is so small that you're not going to find anyone, right? You know, for some of you guys as well, this might be a long distance relationship. This might be someone who either one of you guys will have to move. You know, maybe you're going to meet online through a forum, or maybe you're going to meet online through like streaming, or I don't know, there's just this energy of like meeting and then having to travel to one another, right? So don't be scared of that either. I feel like it's going to be a brand new beginning for you if you get into a relationship and you do have to move to get to them, right? But definitely long distance relationships are here. I keep hearing that maybe there's someone who's an Aries as well in this pile. But I also feel like going forward, with the Ace of Swords, don't be scared to start over again. You know, don't be scared to reestablish yourself, and don't be scared to put yourself out on the dating market, right? You know, I know it can feel a little bit intimidating or a little bit scary, especially when you're first starting a new relationship or a new connection with someone. But Spirit is definitely saying that it's going to be worth all the uncomfortability of it, right? I definitely feel like through this process, you're also going to be learning a new side of yourself, which is interesting because you might feel as if you've already discovered quite a bit of yourself already, but Spirit is saying no, like this relationship, or even just going on dates or weeding out who you don't want to be with to get to someone that you do, I feel like that is going to take you to the next level as well, where you're going to understand, okay, well, I do want this and this in a relationship, but I don't want that, right? I feel like this is also saying I want this in a life, but I don't want that. For some of you guys, maybe children are a big thing. Maybe you don't want children, and maybe that's going to be a big determining factor when you get into the dating pool. You know, maybe people are going to say, hey, well, do you want children or not, right? So maybe there's also that level of putting your foot down and saying, no, these are my beliefs. These are the things that I'm not going to do. You know that song where it's like, I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. I feel like that's very much this energy, is understanding and putting your foot down when your boundaries are being crossed or tested as well. Yeah, standing firm in your beliefs, but also remembering to balance out your work life as well. But again, I feel like this individual is from your previous lifetimes and they are ready to connect with you. So I'm just going to grab a few more cards. I did this for both of the other piles, so I'm just going to draw really quick on the blessings that are coming in during this next chapter in your life. Just more information on what is coming your way. So I'm not going to take any reversals. Let's grab 2 more, please. And then we'll go on to your last few cards. Wow, okay, so we have the Knight of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the Four of Wands. And again, I'm not going to take reversals. Oh my gosh, on the bottom of the deck too, we have the Two of Cups. How cute. I really do feel like you and this individual are going to balance each other out so perfectly. You know, I was saying earlier as well that I feel like this person is very earthly and, you know, very good at achieving things on the planet and in the 3D, and whereas you're very spiritually based and spiritually inclined, maybe more kind of heads in the clouds sort of thing, while they're more like very stoic, very down to earth, you know, very focused. I feel like you guys are going to balance each other out very, very beautifully. Like there's this energy of understanding one another even in your differences, right? Now with Knight of Wands, you know, I feel like when this person comes in, they're going to be coming in hot. You know, I feel like this person is going to bring a lot of passion to the table. You know, you guys won't be able to keep your hands off of each other. It's almost this connection where you know that you're going to get married to this person, right? And how beautiful is that? I mean, and if not that, it at least gives you an idea of what it is that you want for marriage. But for a lot of you guys watching this pile, you are meeting or have met the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. Now with the Queen of Swords, again, I feel like Spirit is saying it's entirely up to you. You know, you can choose to stay in this or to say no thanks, and move on and find another connection. You are also someone who is being asked to, again, stand your ground, to stay truthful to yourself, truthful to what is important to you, and not settle just to be in a relationship with someone, right? No one is worth forsaking yourself. So going forward onto your last 4 cards, these are talking about how you will be feeling come this new change in your life. So in this new chapter, we have the Worlds, the Emperor, the Queen of Autumn, and the Six of Winter. Beautiful. So again, moving on to better situations, you know, maybe deciding, hey, I have the opportunity and I'm in the position to be able to weed out who I want to talk to, who I don't want to talk to, you know, realizing that you can just move on to the next person or the next date or the next person that you want to talk to, right? You know, you are someone who is very valuable. Your time is valuable as well. And you are holding out for the Emperor. Remember earlier when we literally got this Empress? Yeah, you are looking for your match. You're not playing small potatoes here right now, right? You are looking for all that and a bag of chips. And with the World, I feel like this is coming to a close. You know, I feel like when you're starting to feel like in your power, you're feeling confident, you are literally feeling like the Empress. I feel like this person is going to come in and they're going to sweep you off your feet. You know, and again, I feel like looks can be deceiving. So again, don't judge a book by its cover. I feel like this individual is a romantic at heart. They're super sweet and they're going to treat you with so much love and so much respect. This is honestly the best reading out of all 3. It is just so healthy and so exciting and so loving, right? There's so much love to be had in this reading and so much love to be had over the next year, right? And many, many years to come, right? So I hope that you guys enjoyed this stack 3. Definitely let me know in the comments down below. Have you met this individual already? Are you planning on meeting someone soon? Hoping to? But definitely let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed this as well. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you have not already, and press that little bell icon to be notified every time I upload a brand new reading. But I hope you guys are doing amazing and staying in good health, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, stack 3!